everybody and welcome back to F1 Manager 2022, the Aston Martin to glory save. And yes, in the last episode, Lance Stroll got fired and we've appointed Nico Hülkenberg into car 2 and called up youngster Frederic Vesti in as our reserve driver, who has a development point we can use. Now, the sensible thing would be to whack it into braking and improve some of his pace. I'm not sure I'm that sensible. So I think we're going to put it into cornering. And that's increased his overall rating, luckily, up to 72. So there we go. Yes, Vesti that's the first time I've had a development point, and it's gone into Vesti, and he is now up to a 72 overall. I think, judging by his sort of attributes, literally I'm going to pile everything into cornering, braking, and reactions whenever we get a chance. I think maybe accuracy as well, which I think will be good. But yeah, it's going pretty well, to be honest. We do have a race coming up in this episode. Obviously, we are at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix weekend. That's where we're about. We have had some manufacturing complete on the chassis, the new chassis. We've got the Grand Prix coming up. We've also got a sponsorship obligation, which is a little bit irritating because it does impact the driver on the day. And then we have the facility upgrade of the scouting department's going to be done. We're going to have another chassis complete as a spare. And then we've got another sponsorship obligation. But we're getting very close to the aerodynamic testing period ending, which means, to be honest, we need to not be on this screen. We need to be on this screen and looking at the car parts development and see we can't design anything new, which is a little bit irritating. Let's go and have a look at our current projects. We've got some design projects here. Can we edit this project? Yes, edit project. We can only edit how many engineers are working on it, which we can't change at the moment. What we wanted to do was get more of our hours on it. It looks like then we're not going to be able to utilize all of our hours, so we'll have to remember that for the next testing time and remember to utilize all those hours. So in terms of facilities, then, scouting department is going to be completed in 3 days. Our wind tunnel is going to be done in 38 days, and our factory is going to be done in 54. The wind tunnel and the factory, crucial in creating a better car. That's the sort of thing we need to be investing our money into. We have 13 million in the bank. It's probably not quite enough to be able to upgrade our design center or our simulator at 10 million. Suspension centers 10 million, and the car part test center is 8 million. I feel like that would put us a bit too close to running out of money. In terms of staff facilities, the team hub's going to cost 2.2 million. It could be pretty good to do something like that. The scouting department we're already upgrading, and the race simulator for 2.8 million would give us an increase of up to, well, a further 20% of weekly experience gain for our drivers. So that would be really useful for the likes of Vesti, because he would get a large number of experience points during that one practice session. In terms of the operation facilities, we've got a boardroom. If our board confidence drops, we're going to buy them a bright, shiny new boardroom because it's going to increase our confidence by 10%. The hospitality area, team attractiveness, I'm not too fussed about that at the moment. Weather centre could be pretty useful. 1.55 million to buy it, to upgrade it, so we'll leave that for now. The helipad, if we upgrade it, would get 20% team attractiveness, would get a extra % on the sponsor target payouts. Given the fact we're not hitting those sponsor targets at the moment, we're not going to invest any money into the helipad. The memorabilia room is something I'm quite tempted to build. 5 days it's going to take to build a whole memorabilia room, and it would improve morale of staff and drivers, which I think would be pretty good. And then the tour centre just gives you more income. It's going to cost $237,000 to upgrade it, and you get $17,000 a week. It would then take 18 weeks to pay that money back, and everything else is profit. So in my mind, that's a bit of a no-brainer. We're going to do that because I think 18 weeks is nothing in this game. We'll fly through that time. And we're also going to build a memorabilia room as well, because it's not that much money, and it's going to give a boost to all of our staff and our drivers. That is pretty much us completely caught up. So let's head in to the race weekend, and I'll see you in Italy for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. So as ever, I'll do practice 1, 2 and 3 off camera. We'll be back for qualifying. Sponsors, They want us to reach Q3. We've not done that at all, ever. We've not even got out of Q1 this season. They want our finish position to be 15th, with both drivers finishing above that. That's probably not going to happen either, because we're just not very good in the car. And they want a finish position streak of four times in a row of above 15th. Yeah, not sure about that one either, to be honest. Here we are then, qualifying for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Practice was okay, 89% confidence on Vettel. We actually got 95% with Nico, so hoping that he has a good performance here. We've got one little potential issue, is that the gearbox is... all of it's sort of like a bit worn, and I think 61's enough to get us through. I'm just wondering, do we put a new gearbox on each car? Now, we shouldn't get a penalty because we're not gone into qualifying yet, and I think we're going to do that. We need to try something, right? We need to get the car working as best as we can. So car parts, again, 45% on the gearbox. I think we give both of them a new gearbox. I just need to check that I haven't taken that gearbox off car 2. No, 100%. Right, okay. And I think for the next race, we're going to use the worn engines during practice, and then we'll take them out for qualifying for the next qualifying as well. So let's dive into this. We'll manage qualifying 1. Let's get into it. I'm expecting 17th and 18th like always. Right, so we've sent them out early doors for this one. So we're going to hit a traffic there with Hamilton and Ocon. And, well, Vettel's got through. Hopefully Ocon moves out the way pretty sharpish. But, yeah, we hit a bit of traffic. 1.9 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds behind the fastest laps at the moment is Hulkenberg, which isn't amazing. But we're back in the pits. Right, now, the track is empty. But that means when we go... If we go out now, everyone's going to be in their zones, right? They're going to be... Well, if we go out now, we'll have all the track to ourselves. But as we're starting our fast lap, everyone's going to be on their out lap. So I think a 1:37, we're going to have to go out soon. I think 3 minutes 10. Well, you want it to have about 1:40 on the timer left. And it takes 1:30. So, yeah, you've got to go out about now, haven't you? Surely you've got to go out about now. I'm expecting people to be leaving the pits pretty sharpish for this one. I think we're going to keep an eye on here, and we're going to go... We're going to let everyone else go, and we're going to go at the end of the pack. Or are people going to go with like 2 minutes... 2 minutes 20 to go? I guess... Yeah, because you want 0 on the clock, so you actually want to go about 2 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. God, maths is difficult in late at night after a long day. Maths is difficult, so we're just gonna fast forward this a little bit because I'm expecting some people to go pretty soon. There we go. We're gonna try and just get the last ones. I think Russell and Perez are gonna be behind us. This is gonna be very interesting. Oh no, we've only got Albon behind us. We've only got Albon behind Hulkenberg. So we're just going to keep an eye on this. There's 50 seconds to get round here. The front runners are just starting their laps. We're on board with Vettel. He's got 20 seconds. Yeah, okay, he's easily across the line. Let's ride on board with Sebastian Vettel then, as he's doing his fast lap. We need something good here. We need something good. So there's the no, not the interval. We don't want that. We want the lead to the leader. Yeah. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 3. That's not what you want, as long as it's not a end of session. No, it's just someone running wide, which may help us out. It was Latifi. It's not going to help us out. He's going to be behind us anyway. But yeah, come on, Seb. What you got? What have you got? Come on, Seb. Round the corner. The session's ended, so it's this fast lap. We're not too far off Joe at the moment. I mean, it'd be massive if we could get into Q2. Ricardo's the one at danger, but he hasn't finished his lap yet. Someone's just crossed the line. Norris has just crossed the line. Ricardo's not too far in front of us. Sonoda and Ocon are other ones as well we've got to keep an eye on. As times are now coming in, Sonoda not doing brilliantly. We're going to come round the final corner, and all these times are now going to start coming in for Q1. Come on. Come on, Seb. What you got? You got to find... Oh, he's got to find like 300s. It's not going to happen. Vettel gets a 1.902. Hulkenberg at the moment jumps Albon. Only 0.3 off Vettel, so not too bad. And it's going to be 17th and 18th on the grid. You can't really complain too much about it. We are improving the car, but not enough at the moment. 17th and 18th knocked out in Q1 yet again for Aston Martin. Well, we're just going to have to try. We're going to have to try something different in the race.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying, and they're pretty much where everyone expected them to be on the grid. Now, it's up to them to defy expectations during the race itself. Haas proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position to make the most of this race start. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
And seeing it all come together is sure to be a thrill. An exciting race ahead for us here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
Okay, so it's saying grey clouds. There wasn't any expected rain coming from this one. Yeah, it was going to be sunny, a bit cloudy, a bit overcast, which means the temperature of the track won't go up as much. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting strategy for this one. I do think something we're going to go for straight off the bat of this is we're actually going to over fuel the car. We're going to overfuel the car, I think, as much as possible. It's 63 laps. I'm going to give us... How much is that in kilos? It's an extra 4 kilos. Which is a lot. Let's just go for 1 extra lap. And we're going to push hard on the fuel. I think we're going to push hard on the fuel. We're going to do that with both cars. We need to try something different. And I think the drivers, when they push hard. And they get much quicker times. So we could do medium to hards, hard to soft and pit late. Or we could go for a 3-stop and try and really push. If we just look at this one. Really push the softs, really push the mediums, and try and get up and see what happens. There's no rain at all by the looks of things. So I sort of feel like maybe the mediums to hards is the best way to go. Run them. We can run both tyres quite hard with that because it's not even going to get, and I think that actually gives us a bit of leeway with the hards at the end as well. I mean, look how early, you could pit early and go for the undercut. I think we're going to do that with Seb, I think, and we're going to go. So if we're pushing really hard, the mediums then have loads of time. Just got to check out those hards. If we keep it on push and push every time. Okay, so let's say we're going to push the mediums hard and we're going to push the hards aggressively. I think we go for that. Yeah, I think we're going to go for that with Seb. And then for Nico, I'm so tempted by this. I'm so tempted to try something different. Because if we go and edit this one and say we're going to push hard, we're going to push hard, we're going to push hard. Yeah, you can literally make it all the way. So you'd be planning to pit early, drop back. They would pit around here. We'd hopefully get some places back. I think we're going to try. I think we're going to try a different strategy in this one. Like that. A couple of earlier pit stops. We'll see if it works out. I'm not a fan of the 2 stops, but I feel like you've got to try it. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go push, we're going to go loads of fuel, and straight from the off we're going to go into overtake for both drivers. We want them just to move up as soon as possible. We're trying something different today. Let's see how it goes. Right, we're nearly there. Nearly time for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. The home of Ferrari. We're away. We're off. We are off. Again, let's get on board with Seb. Can he make something happen early on? He can not quite get the Haas. It's a long run up to turn 1. And then you go into this sort of really sharp chicane early doors. We need to make something work. We've got to remember as well, we've got split strategies. So it's not going to be exactly the same. But hopefully, I think there's been a little patch to the game as well where they've said they fixed a few things. So hopefully we see a bit better racing and maybe tyre degradation. I mean, how are we... Oh, That can't be right. There's no even you can see that he's not a second behind Tsunoda. So go on. It's a tough place to overtake this. So it's going to be strategy. Might be the difference. We need Vettel and Hulkenberg to be bold. We need them to be bold and make a difference. Come on, boys. So far, not much is happening. Let's have a quick check of what everyone started on in terms of tyres. We've got a few softs in there. I think it's a big mix. It's a big mix of strategies in this race. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. You've got to remember as well, we have overfueled the car, so we are heavier. We are going to be heavier than everyone else. But we can make that work. We can make that work. As I said, it's going to be a lot of pushing hard on the accelerator to burn that fuel. Well, at the moment, it's mainly Hulkenberg battling with Vettel. We're actually losing a bit of pace, although again, I don't believe that. It says 0.7 seconds, but when you look at it, look how close we are behind. I don't think we are 0.7 seconds, but we can't really afford to drop off everyone else. We're staying in overtake at the moment. I could go to deploy, although Vettel's going to try and make a move. He can't make it stick. Come on, right, we've got DRS, which is going to help us out massively. Schumacher is going really slowly. Really, really slowly at the start of this race. He's really losing pace to Tsunoda as Vettel's again having another look. Hulkenberg's up there as well trying to make a move. I mean, we're leaving the Williams for dead. They're behind us. They're well out of this. I'm just thinking we can potentially put a bit of deploy. Could potentially put a bit of deploy on here. Go on, you can get him. Come on, that Haas is not that quicker. It's not that much quicker than you. I think we could have gone whole new engine and we would be pushing through them quite easily now. But look at Schumacher to Tsunoda. Really losing a lot of time as Hulkenberg has got past Vettel there. He's going for another move as well. Can't. Oh, I mean, Hulkenberg's done well and he's really putting Schumacher under pressure. Hulkenberg on the softs you would expect to get past. Vettel on the mediums, but yeah, we're making a bit of a hash of getting up the order quickly. As we've lost our ERS with Hulkenberg, so we're just going to tell him to go on neutral. In fact, let's sit Vettel on neutral behind him as well, and we'll just see how this unfolds. Oh no! They've hit each other. The Aston Martins have just taken each other out.
It involves Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel didn't brake hard enough. Hulkenberg goes flying into the wall. Oh, they're both going to have damage.
That's going to be a big blow to the team.
This is an absolute disaster for Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel was to blame. There's a safety car. Hulkenberg crashed. He is still driving. No, he's retired the car. Hulkenberg's out. Hulkenberg's out. We're going to have to bring Sebastian Vettel in. He's got a 5-second time penalty. Oh, my word. Yeah, must be replaced yet. The terminal damage car part must play for this car can return to the track. So I think it's going to do that for us automatically. I mean, the hards can do 66 tyres. We might just have to sit on them until the end, I guess. We'll see how this... We might be retiring from this race. This is an absolute disaster. Terminal front wing damage. We've got a time penalty because you caused the collision. So, yeah, hards. We're going to go onto the hards. We're going to get a new front wing. It's already been selected. So, yeah, we'll get him in. Oh, Seb. Seb. He's wiped out his new teammate and he's lost his front wing. Unbelievable. Unlucky Nico. He was making some moves. We let them battle. Maybe a mistake, but... yeah, shocking that. Right, well the good news is that Seb is, well, Zhou's locked up under the safety car as well, but Vettel is coming in under the safety car, which means he'll be able to take this long pit stop. Shouldn't really affect him too much with the front wing change. As we're going onto the hard tyres, this is his 5-second pit stop, which again, under safety car is awesome to take. So wait that 5 seconds. Did they put a new front wing on? That's also a terrible change. Oh yeah, I don't think they have an animation for a front wing, but it definitely looked like it was fixed. It is, but under safety car, he now gets a chance to catch up to the safety car queue, of which Verstappen is bottom of it. We've still got a bit of damage here. Minor damage on the chassis, minor damage on the underfloor. Might be a case that we retire the car early, but let's see if Vettel can catch up to the safety car queue, and that is the advantage of taking that time penalty and pitting, because we're now actually... The safety car's coming in.
Safety car will be in this lap.
We're not out of this race yet, like in terms of with our strategy. So we're going to try and push these to the end. I'm just going to look at this. I want to see if we can actually... Yeah, so we are going to catch the queue. So let's go back on board with Seb. And so the safety car's there. We've got Sainz and Leclerc at the front holding up the pack. Right.
So there is no overtaking until the control line, and there'll be 2 laps with no DRS.
Let's push for it. We've got Verstappen in front. If we can follow Verstappen, use him as a bit of a bulldozer. And I mean, Vettel's... I have told him to deploy and try and get round Verstappen, but...
We need to charge DRS.
Right, let's watch this for a little bit. I mean, oh, what a shocking start to the race this is. Verstappen absolutely leaving us for dead. Okay, it's been a shocking start. Verstappen makes easy meet of Latifi, easily gets around him. Hopefully we can do the same, just dancing around Latifi. He is the worst driver on the grid now that Lance Stroll's not here. Got to keep getting those digs in at Lance Stroll. I know he doesn't race for us anymore. There we go. Right, Latifi in the mud. We've got past Latifi. Now, we need to make these tyres last till the end of the race, so we can't push all the time on them. They've got to last another, what, 57 laps or so, 56, 57 laps. So, but Vettel is making moves. We are following Verstappen through at the moment, which is lovely. In fact, let's just drop them down to aggressive while we do that. And whilst, I'm just wondering, can we harvest? While Verstappen is our sort of battering ram, we'll sit on harvest, especially if we can follow Verstappen through on DRS when it opens up again. Because you've got to imagine he's going to cut through. Verstappen's going to cut through this group very, very easily. He's got Albon, Zhou, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Ricciardo and Norris in front of him. If we can just sort of, hang on his coattails in DRS when it opens up, and then when everyone pits, we should move up a number of positions, and hopefully we can get into the points, which would be odd after crashing into our teammate and losing a front wing. So, yeah, I mean, at the moment, we are struggling to keep pace, and I think that's because we're trying to harvest. We'll go into these bits here. We'll get a lot of harvest through the chicanes, which is good. We're just going to stick with this as long as if Verstappen goes past Albon pretty soon, we're going to have to come off harvest, because we're going to have to keep pace with Verstappen. It looks like Albon's defending him pretty well, although not well enough. So we're going to go back to neutral, and yeah, let's see how we do. Okay, DRS is now enabled on lap 9 after the safety car, and we are right on the gearbox of Alexander Albon, and I'm hoping we can overtake him in a similar place that Verstappen did, as Verstappen is cutting through the pack. We haven't quite done the overtake in the same position as Max. We are going to get our foot down now. We have got a little bit more of this battery that I think we're just going to deploy down the start-finish straight. And hopefully with the DRS and the... Well, we'll see if DRS is enough, actually. DRS may just be enough on its own, as we're going to come around this right-hander. I mean, this is... Is this the DRS? Is this DRS line? No, this isn't DRS just yet. I think it is. Start, finish straight, and then the long straight down here, I think. But we're very easily catching Alex Albon. We're very easily sticking with him. It's just going to be tyre wear. That's going to be our issue in this race. Come on, Seb. Come on. That's where you caused the crash. You went straight into the back of your teammate, which wasn't very clever. And right, here we go then. Let's deploy. Deploy this. Use the energy. Come on, that should be enough to get you past the blooming Williams.
Copy.
There we go. You are through, and you didn't actually use too much of your DRS either, which is good. Right, up we go. Hopefully we can now catch this little group of cars, although Verstappen's got past another 2 people. Oh, bloody hell. We're going to have to manage this race pretty well, I think. So looking at our strategy window, these tyres are never going to make it. They are never, ever going to make it. So we're going to have to plan. We're going to have to plan something here. So can we go on to softs? When do we need the softs? When do the hards run out? The hards are going to run out there. I mean, it's going to be an impromptu 2-stopper, I think. and we're going to go full send on the tyres all the time again. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go for this. I'm not too sure how this is going to work. So we're going to go for that. And that's going to be our new strategy. And let's get back on full push on the tyres then, please, Seb. Okay, so we've got a few people pitting. We've got Magnussen locking up in front of us. We're going to have to manage the fuel a little bit. It's not going to be able to push the whole way round. But I think what we want to do is push as hard as we can while these people behind us are in the pits. Then we'll come off the fuel a little bit. We'll manage that. And then we're going to go back to pushing the fuel before our pit stops. And it's crucial that we make time up with this extra pit stop that we're having. Although a couple of people look like they are doing 2 stops as well. It's a crash right at the beginning of the race. It was good that it happened and we got Vettel in under safety car and managed to take a 5-second time penalty and repair the front wing, or fit a whole new front wing, and get back out and still keep this going. We're not completely out of this, but we're also in a position where the fact we're going to have to do another pit stop means we may be a little bit screwed towards the end of the race. But let's wait and see. Okay, so we've completely caught up Magnussen. We've absolutely blitzed into his DRS zone. We should get past him relatively easy in terms of the start finish straight if we don't do it before that. But we really, the problem we've got, we really need to keep pushing because we have to catch up with as many cars as possible. Although someone else has now run wide somewhere. It's probably one of the Williams, I'd imagine, behind us. I'm sure we'll find out in a sec. Oh, it's Verstappen. Verstappen's run wide up in 10th, so he's had a bit of a shocking race today, to be honest. But yeah, we need to make this move happen on Schumacher. Let's have a quick look at pits, or tyre life actually. So Schumacher's on the hards, he's got a bit more distance left to go. See, we've been pushing a lot and we're at the same sort of distance as this, so they could be doing hard to softs as a one-off. They went soft to mediums, I think they've done. Interesting, interesting. A lot of medium runners haven't pitted yet, but they'll only be doing a 1 stop. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting as we can go back to the action and hopefully see us make a move on Schumacher. We can't get it done. Can we get him under braking somewhere? Can we make a move here, Sebastian Vettel? Right, let's. We're gonna deploy now down this straight. I think I've left it a little bit late.
Use energy if you need it.
I did leave it a little bit too late, so we're gonna go to overtake after this little sharp left-hander right now. Let's just see if we can get a move done with overtake on, and we are deploying some battery to try and help us get past. It's not going to be quite enough. So again, let's leave it in neutral. We're actually going to harvest around this next right here to try and just get some more battery in there under braking. Didn't quite work as I wanted it to. We're going to have a little straight here. We're going to have another little chicane here where we're going to try and harvest. Again, nothing coming into it from there. So we're going to come round this final bend, left-hand bend, and then we're going to jump into deploy, and we're going to see if we can catch him here. So as we come round this bend, get it into deploy. Drop all that energy as soon as we come around this corner, Seb. Come on. Okay. We've got DRS as well. This should be easy. This should be easy, Seb. This should be easy. I know you haven't got a perfect engine in the back of the car, but this should be an easy move. What are you doing? Why are you making such hard work of this? Unbelievable, Sebastian Vettel. Unbelievable. We're so close to him now. You've got to get him now. You've got to get him now. You've got to make this move. We're getting stuck behind Schumacher for too long here, Seb. Come on. Make it work.
So use energy. Use
energy down this straight. Straight out of the corner. It's not the best exit. It's a terrible exit, but he is catching. Can we make the move on this left-hander? This is where he hit Hulkenberg. It's always a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment with Sebastian Vettel on that corner. Now, as the clouds come over, it's just gone very, very dark, and we're going to have a look at this. We're going to have a look at the weather forecast in a minute. In fact, we're going to look now. No, we're not, because we might make a move here. It's a long straight. Come on, Seb. Oh, this Ferrari power in the Haas is killing us at the moment. We just can't make the move. Yeah, we've got low battery. I know we've got low bloody battery.
Copy.
This is where we should be catching up the pack in front. We're trying to go around the outside. It's an unconventional move. Oh. Right, we're going to have a look at this. Track. It's not saying any rain. We don't have the best forecaster, but the only reason I'm checking is because up here, 40% chance of rain in the next 3 minutes. So we'll have to have a look. And Seb is making really hard work of this against Schumacher. This is shocking, Seb. Right, has there been an incident in Sector 1? I don't think there's another safety car or a yellow flag or anything.
Copy.
But again, we're making such hard work of getting past Schumacher. Come on, this has got to be the chance. Got to be the time. We've got the run. We are through. And there's still 40% chance of rain in 4 minutes. So, right, we're through. We've got to make this count. We're 8 seconds off Norris. We've really got to catch him. When's Norris going to pit?
Martin with a great play there.
Yeah, Norris is on the mediums. When's he going to pit? He's probably doing a one medium to hard, maybe. Norris. So I think we're going to... Let's do quicker lap times. Let's go and put a... In fact, let's... No, we're going to harvest for the rest of this lap. Because I think we've... Yeah, we're leaving Schumacher behind us now that we're past him. We're going to harvest for the rest of this lap. And then we're going to do a lap on full deploy. And see if we can make some of that gap up on Norris. Still, there's only been a few people that have only pitted once. And luckily, Albon's holding up quite a lot of people behind us. Which is really good. Schumacher's not closing the gap. It's only 0.6 seconds. So that's okay. If that come down to... Okay, he's reeling us in a little bit now. He's going to have DRS. But I think as we come round here... We are... Just going to see what happens to the battery here. Because I'm a little bit concerned that... Yeah, we haven't really put enough in that. Okay, we're going to harvest on this lap. Although Schumacher is now right behind us. As you can see, just there, he's right behind us. So we're going to unleash our ERS in a minute. Because we're still pushing everything. So Schumacher's clearly having a push lap right now. You can see we're now 9 seconds behind. Right. We've got a lot of battery there. So let's use this battery to just pull away from Schumacher if we can. It's gone up to 0.3, 0.2. Keeping an eye on this because this is where we need to deploy the battery really to get that extra pace step. Why are you not deploying the battery? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Now we're deploying. Hopefully that will let us pull away a little bit. Right, we're going to drop to neutral and we're going to deploy on the start-finish straight when we get there. It's just going to need a bit of micromanagement this. We'll cut away soon. You won't see it all, trust me. But I feel like the micromanagement is pretty crucial. We've got to rein in Norris, who's 9 seconds ahead of us. We've got to try, at least. We've got to try. We're up in 12th, which isn't bad, given that we had to replace our whole front wing and we took out our teammate. So, yeah, you know, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Right, oh, Magnussen's holding on. He's so close behind us. That DRS is huge. We need to break that DRS train. We really do. Right, and the next group of people are pitting. This is going to be massive for us. We are going to jump some places here. We're going to drop back down to neutral as people are just coming out, and we're going to be behind Lewis Hamilton. Now I know we've got a pit, right? I understand that we're going to pit again, but this is a very good position for us. This is a very good position to be in right now. We know that we can push the tyres. We know that we can push the fuel, though we have to keep an eye on it. But if we can sit, let's just deploy because we want to get back in that DRS range. We want to catch Hamilton up. He's got colder tyres than us. Fresher tyres, but colder tyres. We really want to get on him within a second so that his DRS can pull us along and we can just drop back to neutral. And as long as we can keep up with him in that. So come on, really push now, Seb. Really push. Get in that DRS zone. In fact, let's have a look from Hamilton's view. Yeah, we've got a bit of a train forming behind us. I know we've lost our ERS, but we still have to push whenever we get it on charge. Yeah, Hamilton's putting a bit of space between us now. We've got Schumacher just behind us, then Verstappen, who's got the fastest lap of the race. Oh, man. This is tough. Yeah, Hamilton's putting loads of space between us now. Okay, let's drop back to neutral. Schumacher is... I mean, if we just drop back to us now, you can... Schumacher's got us. He's got past us. And now we've got Verstappen on our tail as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, this. 2 seconds back to Gasly, though, so we have a bit of space. But I'm assuming Verstappen's going to get us pretty quickly. If we can stay in DRS then, at least someone can pull us along and hopefully keep us away from Gasly. That would be pretty useful, to be honest. In theory, maybe letting Verstappen go by dropping things off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because what we don't want to do is hold Verstappen up so that Gasly catches Verstappen. If Verstappen gets in front of us, we can use his DRS to pull us away from Gasly. I think, in theory, that should work. It should work. We just need Verstappen to make the move. He's going to be gaining on us in every single lap, every single straight. So it shouldn't take him long. But that's the problem, right? Gasly's now getting close to being in Verstappen's DRS. And that's what we don't want. I'm hoping Verstappen flies past us on this start-finish straight. It's not that I want to lose positions. It's that in a tactical sense, this should work. This should make sense. But we've got DRS. Oh, I suppose all the time we've got DRS. It doesn't really matter, so we might as well stay on aggressive for the tyres. Let's just see how it plans out. Let's see how it pans out, eh? Let's see how it pans out. He's still there, right on our arse. Well, Verstappen's got us because we've run wide on one of the corners, which means he's got through. But Gasly has caught up as well, so this is now becoming very, very tactical. This. And the team are devastated because Vettel ran slightly wide off the course. But there you go, Gasly is right there with us. Oh no, this is going to see us drop out of the points because Gasly is probably going to take us. So we're going to go attack, we're going to go push. We've got our DRS on neutral. I mean, it's still it's not out of the equation that we can overtake Verstappen here. Right, now Verstappen has just passed Schumacher. We're still in this DRS train, but what was pulling us along is the fact that Verstappen couldn't get past Schumacher, and we're all just in this DRS train keeping a good gap to Ocon. But Verstappen now is going to fly away because he's got a bit of open air towards Russell, 6 seconds to play with, which probably means Ocon's now going to get back in this fight, and we've got to do another pit stop later on. It's an interesting tactical race, but I don't feel like it's going to end very well for us. Right, so Ocon has caught up with this pack, but we are now leading this pack, which means we don't have DRS, but we're in a much better position because now 2 cars have to get past us to get out of the points. They're obviously going to get past us when we pit. Let's have a quick check of everyone else's tyre wear. So it looks like Schumacher's going to have to pit again. Gasly and Ocon probably won't. Norris won't. These 3 will. It's going to be... I don't think we're going to get points, but I think we're going to get... We've got a good chance of getting above 17th, which is always a bonus, right? With Aston Martin. Let's see how it goes. Oh, we've had a crash. A car has gone into the wall. Now, I don't know who it was just yet. It's Magnussen.
Let's see what happens.
Whoa.
All eyes on Kevin Magnussen.
So Kevin Magnussen in a bit of a world of his own. He's not got too much pressure on him. Big lock-up off to the side, smashing into the wall. Oh, okay. The only issue with that is that Magnussen was behind us, so it doesn't really affect our ongoing battle for places. But at the moment, we're in the points, and that's all we can ask for. We are 8 seconds behind Verstappen, but we're in the points. Right, we're in the pit window. The hard tyres are just coming to the end of their life. We're meant to be pitting next lap, and I think we can get there. Looking at the times, we may pit now, actually, and come out ahead of Albon. I think that's probably... how are we doing here? 23.4. Okay, it's going up to Albon.
Yeah, confirm.
It's gonna be risky. If we can have an under 23 second pit stop, we'll come out ahead of Albon in 13th, which will be really useful. But as you can see, he's eating into that time now. Have I left this too late to bring him in? Let's try it. Softs. It's going to be total pitting on 28 seconds. We'll be battling with Albon as we come out. I just want to let's confirm that at the moment. We are paused, which is a bit unrealistic. But if we go hard tyres full push, soft tyres full push, if we pit now, they're not going to make it to the end, but we can drop to aggressive. So if we do that, yeah. I mean, that we can play around. We'll have to do a bit of tyre management. That's okay. That's okay. I think we pit in now. I think we pit now onto the softs. onto a fresh pair of softs, pit this lap. Hopefully, he should have enough. Yeah, box. So he should come in right now, which means we're probably not going to get points at the end of this race. But it's been entertaining. According that we took out our teammate and lost our rear wing, our front wing, and we have damage to the car, and
make sure you get your pit limits as you come in the pit
we've
lane.
got a shitty knackered engine as well. There's no car there. I was going to say, look like so. Joe's run wide. He's behind us, but it should give us a bit of gap. So we are out. It's just a case of where is Albon? Albon's coming round. There was a 24-second stop. This is going to be close. This is going to be very, very close. There is Albon coming up towards the pits. We're out. We're out ahead of him. Okay, good. We are out. We are out of. We are out ahead of Albon. That is absolutely wonderful stuff. Because I think we've got a better car than the Williams. I think we can push a little bit, and we can make this work. Do you know what? On fresh tyres, we're 19 seconds off Norris. But if they can get held up, is anyone else going to have to pit again? Nah, they're not going to have to pit again. Oh, Schumacher will. Schumacher will. Albon will behind us. So we're actually going to have a huge gap to the people behind us. Okay, it's not completely over. I think we're out of points. But this is not a bad race so far. Right, Schumacher has pitted. We are up to 12th, but we are 20 seconds off Norris. Which isn't ideal. I mean, we could harvest for the rest of this lap. Because we're not under any pressure from behind us at the moment. Harvest round these corners. Next lap, go full deploy and see what we can do. Right, here we go then. We're going to go full deploy, full pace for one whole lap. See what we can do. I don't think our battery is going to last very long, but if we can close the gap to Norris or potentially set a very fast lap, I'll be absolutely delighted. So Vettel knows he's got a push. He's on the radio saying he understands. And then it's just a case of managing the tyres, managing the fuel, making sure we end the race. Because at the moment we're up in 12th and we've got a bit of a big gap to Schumacher. So, I mean, 20 seconds to Norris is a lot to ask up with 13 laps to go. But it's... You know, I feel gutted for Nico, but this hasn't been, in terms of Sebastian Vettel, we've managed it quite well. It's interesting to know what the two-stopper would have done for Nico. The key thing for Vettel, right, is obviously that the safety car allowed us to pit from like 17th after the accident and come out in 20th with fresher tyres and a lot of pushing to do. So it's interesting. If we could have made those hards last to the end of the race, I think we would have got caught by a lot of other drivers, but it would have been very interesting. But I feel like strategy-wise, this has gone okay. I think it has. As Sebastian Vettel's coming around just to finish his lap, we were on deploy, but we've run out of battery. So as he crosses the start-finish line, we'll just pop him onto neutral for now and let him do his thing. We're going to bring his tyres back down. We'll leave the fuel on balance. I think that's okay. I'll be interested to see what was lap history for Vettel. Yeah, 1:19.3. So he did go a whole second quicker with that pit, which is very interesting actually. With the push, so it does make a huge difference if you can deploy the battery for a whole lap. So yeah, okay. I mean, it's still 1 minute and 12 seconds behind the leader. What's Leclerc's fastest? So 1:18.3, 1:19.3. I think one of the races I'm going to do, so I fast forward some of the time, obviously, because it would last for ages, but I think one day, when I get some time, I'm going to do a whole race watching the whole thing and managing it in real time, like at one-time speed. I think it would be beneficial. I really do. But yeah, 20 seconds off Norris. We've got a 7-second gap to Schumacher. We should be fine as long as the tyres can last the race, which actually means let's have a couple of laps. We'll have a couple of laps just on standard pace, and I think we'll be fine. So I've got a couple of laps to go. We've been managing it pretty well. Magnussen's closed the gap a little bit, but we've got our fuel back on 0. We've had to ease the tyres off ever so slightly. But I think staying on standard, Schumacher could close a 3-second gap, but I think we're going to be losing a bit of tread. We are going to be losing a little bit of grip, but I feel like it's enough for us to get to the end. We should be okay. So we're on to the last lap. The gap is still 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds. So I've dropped the tyres down ever so slightly to light. Seb's just started complaining about the grip, but I feel like we've managed this really well. I mean, 12th in a race where we've had to go from a 1-stop to a 2-stop and change our front wing.
So this is last lap.
I feel like we're doing good. You can push the tyres. It's the last lap is what he's saying. So, all right, let's go for it. Why not? We're going to be bang on the fuel. I feel like over-fueling the car was a good decision. It's allowed us to push for pretty much the whole race, which is absolutely awesome. As let's watch Seb in this final lap then, and hopefully he doesn't have a monumental F-up, because Perez or Verstappen is also on their last lap and they're coming round to lap us again, I think. Hopefully that doesn't give Schumacher or Zhou enough of a DRS to potentially catch us here. It shouldn't do. We should get to the end, and I'm actually just going to pop that down to balance just to make sure that we've got enough fuel to get to the end. I'm a bit concerned it says minus 0.0, but yeah, we'll see how this goes as we let the leading car go through, which is probably Verstappen. I imagine Perez has got round us already. Right, they're over the line. We're going to push everything, because I've just noticed how close Magnussen is into us now. He's 0.6 behind. This is now the end of the Grand Prix. Sainz has won it. We're coming across to take 12th, something I'm very, very happy with after everything we've done there. And we do claim 12th ahead of Schumacher, Zhou, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Albon, Latifi and Hülkenberg, who retired early on in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I think that's our first retirement, our first proper safety car. And it ended working really well. 2 places out of the points. For a while we were running in the points. It just got a little bit too much where we had to come in for our second pit stop. But it's all worked out reasonably well. I'm pretty chuffed, to be honest. And there we have it then. So Carlos Sainz was the race winner. But yeah, up in 12th. We gained 5 places from our starting position. Our best lap was the 1:19.3 that we did when we were pushing deploy all the way. We had the soft tyres on. It was good, but look at the time difference, 1:17.4. We've got a lot of work to do with this car. We'll have a new engine in for the next race. It will push Sebastian Vettel up, I think, into 15th. Yeah, so he stays where he is. But yeah, pretty good. We just need to get a point on the board so that we can overtake Haas in the constructors. But yeah, I'm just what could we have done if we'd had 2 drivers there? Not too sure. 2 laps Nico Hülkenberg did. 2 laps, and then Sebastian Vettel took him out, and Sebastian Vettel got another 60 laps under his belt. So unlucky for Nico, but well done Seb. A good race, and I feel like well done me. I feel like I managed that quite well. So the upgrade is complete on the scouting department, which is great news. We do have an email to go to as well. We're gonna have to replace some parts on the car. Let's see, did Vesti? He didn't get another point for that. Has Hülkenberg got a point? No. Has Vettel got a point? No. Has any of our people got a point? So our technical chief, who we're probably going to replace pretty soon, has got a point. So we'll pop that onto rear wing. Aerodynamics has got one as well. We'll pop that onto drag reduction. That's always something that can increase your speed. Race engineers, they don't have one. He doesn't have one. So we've updated them a little bit. Yes, the cars are missing a chassis. It's in development. We're going to have to go back to the original chassis, which is a little bit annoying. Installed on car 1 and car 2. Awesome. Excellent. Love not having spares. That's absolutely amazing. Right. The scouting department upgrade is complete. So we now have an extra scout who we're going to send out at some point. The ATR period is ending soon. We left 7 hours in the wind tunnel and 0.5 hours in the CFD, which is really irritating. Really, really irritating. Carlos Sainz won. We knew that. It was a weekend to forget for Nico Hülkenberg. Gave it their all, and to be forced to retire before finishing the race. And it was a great race, though. The board watched the race at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix this weekend, and we wanted to congratulate you on meeting our expectations. It was a great race and displayed the fine work you're doing as a team principal. Our confidence in you as a leader has most certainly increased. What's irritating about that is that if I had gone into the sponsors and said we'd get 1 car to finish 15th or above, we would have got a bit more money. Oh well, that's how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? Right, we've got a whole week until the next race, which is the Miami Grand Prix. We'll be back for that one pretty soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.